Hey guys, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to get a great discussion on gaming and all that surrounded. Now, on to today's topic. So I just got done watching the Pokemon Sword and Shield Direct, and I thought it was really good. They showed off all that they had to show. They showed off all the new features. They showed off all the some new characters. They showed off just more footage of the game, and that's really all I was asking for, all I was hoping for. There was one, two things that I was really hoping to see, but I think that would be better to show off in another direct or some other time the game is shown off. But for what they showed off today, I thought that was really good what they showed off. So just to get into it, I have my notes just right here. They had the big thing about this region, the Galar region, is the giant Pokemon battles. So now they introduced giant Pokemon battles. Basically they're like, I think they call it kaiju, right? They're like giant Godzilla fights and whatnot. I think Pokemon just came from watching the Godzilla movie or something like that, and they thought it was a good idea to put in the game. So now, maybe now we get to have a cameo of Godzilla and catch him and train him. Maybe that was maybe that was Pokemon Sapphire and Ruby, wasn't it? But or something similar to that, right? But it looked pretty cool. It looked pretty cool. I think this is similar to the whole the system they had in Pokemon. I believe it was Sun and Moon and the previous one, the one in France, that where you could have the bracelet thing, right? And you can power up your Pokemon for a little bit, and and work that out. I thought that was pretty. That was this is like a power up thing, right? So it's fine. The only thing is that this lasts only for like 3 turns, and then you're back to normal. So it's cool. Like it's a cool thing. It doesn't detract from the core Pokemon game, so that's cool. I think that's fine. Now, when it comes to gym battles and whatnot, this is like the whole thing here is that everything's like in a Coliseum like thing, keeping with the Galar kind of gladiator kind of theme they have going on, where everyone wants to go visit and shown on TV and everything. I thought that was a pretty cool idea, to finally have gym battles televised and whatnot. It's like a sporting event. It kind of reminds me of, if anyone is watching now, the French Open right now, where you can watch that. And since this is based off of, I know this is based off Scotland and Wales, but Wimbledon has their own thing. Wimbledon is basically next door, and it just reminded me of that whole event thing. But nevertheless, it looks pretty cool. The whole event thing does look pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to that. I think that the Pokemon Company and Game Freak, they try to do different things each generation with their gyms and their gym leaders too. So I think we only got like a sneak peek of what they're trying to do and whatnot. So I think it's pretty. I think what they're doing is pretty cool. So those battles that they get giant is called Dynamax battles. What I already explained it already. They only last three moves and whatnot. Another big feature that's coming to Pokemon Sword and Shield is going to be multiplayer. Now Pokemon has had multiplayer before, where you just verse someone online, but here you can actually team up with 3 other people in a 4 versus 1 Pokemon battle, one giant Dynamax Pokemon battle, and kind of like a raid battle. Well, they call it a raid battle, where you just keep attacking it, and one person gets to catch it in this like mega Pokeball, and it looks pretty cool. It's an interesting little thing. It comes off a little bit more like a gimmick to me. But more options for multiplayer is always welcome, and if they're going to try something new, this isn't bad. I don't think it's a little bit of a distraction. I think that's not a bad thing. Now, in terms of actually catching Pokemon, what they want to do is, or rather, what they're doing is that they have an area called the Wild Area, which sounds suspiciously like Breath of the Wild. It's some of the locales kind of reminded me of Breath of the Wild too, and it looks fine. To me, I don't know why they even named it, because it's just the area where you just find it. But as I'm talking right now, I guess they're differentiating this from the other games where it's just kind of just the Pokemon area. It's because it looks like Pokemon now are just visible on screen. You can just find it. That does seem to contradict the footage we saw earlier, where you're hiding. They're hiding in the grass and whatnot. But it looks like you can kind of turn that on and off, if you will. So, or maybe certain areas have that. So maybe that's why they're naming it this time. Maybe they're making it, kind of its own thing. So it kind of reminds me of the Safari Zone in its own way. And now I think about it, where is there going to be a Safari Zone this time? Since this kind of looks like it, saying it's its own. All the Pokemon have their own like habitat and whatnot. But it does look. It looks pretty cool, I guess. It looks okay. It should be easier to find the Pokemon you're looking for. Maybe looking for shinies. Maybe that would make that a lot easier. So I think that's it's a good implementation. And it's different. They also incorporated a 360 camera, so now you can look all around you, which is pretty innovative for the Pokemon franchise. If you guys know, Pokemon has always been pretty much a very strict. It's been very strict in where it wants to place its camera. So now they're giving you that freedom to move around the whole camera and whatnot. And it's pretty interesting. It's a small change and everything. And so, or if from someone who's like just came from playing Breath of the Wild and other stuff, replaying those games. But the small evolutions in Pokemon always interest me, and I kind of like that freedom of moving around your the camera and everything. And so this should make exploration a lot more interesting, I think, in this entry. So I'm looking forward to that. I like that. If you guys remember Alpha Sapphire and whatnot, it was really weird how they had the camera and how they had the ocean and everything. Like if you guys remember that, like you had it was like blocked off. It was weird. It's like in blocks, and you had to like load in the next area and everything. It was weird. Hopefully this game doesn't do that, and you can just have like free range to move around, which this seems like it does, which is pretty cool. From what I can remember, they didn't show off too many villages or towns, but they're there, of course. What else? They showed off the professors. We finally get another female professor. This is like the second one, right? From what I can remember, we had what was her name? In Gen 5, right? I think we had a female professor, I believe. So this is it's different. Her name is, what is her name? Let's see. Would I write it down? There it is. Professor Magnolia and her assistant Sonia. That's it. And I think Magnolia is also keeping the trend of type of tree. I gotta look that up though. But it's cool to see the professor. I always think it's cool to see the different professors for all the other things. Honestly, I just like to see different characters and to see their personalities come out. And I did like the animations in the game. The professor, assistant, the champion, the gym leaders. Everyone seemed to have their own little nice animation, and Pokemon's been doing that for a little bit. But I hope that they have their own personality and everything. I think that's the best part of an RPG, and that's kind of what I want to see from more from Pokemon, where everyone has more of a personality. And if you guys remember Pokemon Black and White, the gym leaders started doing more things, and it was the story was more in your face and more slightly more philosophical. So it was, I like that kind of stuff. Like it's more of a becomes more of a RPG that you're kind of used to from other games, and not like straightforward like the one in France was X and Y. It was too simple for my taste, but this I hope they have more personality and characterization this time. And that brings me to another point in which I was hoping to kind of see, but that's probably going to be something that they leave for the next one. This being a Switch game, like this is on like the home console and everything, not a handheld, and the graphics look pretty. Everything looks pretty and everything. But I really want to see voice acting, kind of like how Breath of the Wild finally had voice acting in this entry. I really want to see voice acting in Pokemon, and I think I remember in Sun and Moon they had like these weird sequences where everyone would move their mouth and no voices would come out, and you still had the text. It was very strange, and there weren't that many, of course, but this game, like, when you see the people talk, they like their mouths are moving, like, it's pretty good at mouth flaps, but they're moving, and it just looks like they should be talking, and I'm just like, ugh, please talk. It's just something that I just like in my RPGs. Like, I've been playing Pokemon for a while, I'm playing Zelda and all these other games for a long time, and I'm sure everyone else has too. But seeing voice acting in them is just nice, So that's just a small thing that I just really hope that they have. I'm gonna quickly go over the Pokemon that they had. I know they had Wooloo, that's a sheep one, Gossifleur and Eldegoss, that's the cotton ball one. Dreadnought is the cool crow or raven looking Pokemon. Oh no, sorry, Dreadnought is the bite Pokemon, the one that chews up the rocks and whatnot. And Carvanite is the raven Pokemon and whatnot. I like the raven one. That looked pretty cool. So it seems this generation is gonna have some pretty cool looking designs. I like it so far, but they're most likely showing off the best ones. But so far this looks really awesome. But that's it for now. I'm gonna try and cut it off for right now. This whole this video right now. If you guys enjoyed it, please like and comment and whatnot. This was a pretty cool direct. I thought it was nice. It was short and sweet, and they detailed all they had to, and just kicks off E3. I think. All the information is pouring in from other different places and whatnot, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. Next week is going to be pretty intense, and we're going to see definitely more of this, but I got a feeling there's going to be more surprises and like big surprises next week from Nintendo. This is going to be just pretty dang awesome. So thank you guys for listening. Have a great day. Bye.